Many across this nation and right here in Northwest Ohio, this is a day of reflection. As we honor the late civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we remember how far we've come and how far we have yet to go. Toledo Central City is home to First Church of God. It has thrived for nearly 60 years under the leadership of Bishop Robert A. Culp.
To break the reign of Satan.
He says being in the presence of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the mid-1950s propelled him into his purpose, what he calls a profound impact on his life.
And our destiny.
He helped us to grasp the relationship between Christianity and civil rights.
I have a dream.
That was his first time with Dr. King. There would be at least two others, the March on Washington in the 60s and the civil rights leaders' visit to Toledo back then too. Bishop Culp says it was over issues of fair housing.
The thing that impressed me so much was his simplicity, his honesty, his whole demeanor was just a simple, humble man.
King's demeanor and poetic words inspire Bishop even today. He believes if MLK were still here, his leadership would be useful.
The kind of rhetoric that is being used in this time and the division that exists in our country, King would be a major help through here because he believed that, it's not by overpowering another, but by standing for what's right.
Bishop Culp says there's been a major shift in 2020.
There was a time when Black Lives Matter was like cursing at an individual. And now it's being defended by persons who you would have never thought would be advocates for it, both black and white.
While he says we are further down the road as a country, there's more that needs to happen.
With the help of the Almighty, one day I believe King's dream will come to pass.
Able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters.
Free at Last will be not simply a nice song from yesteryear, but will be a saying that's real for our people.
And so Bishop also says here in Toledo, we have to convince the entire community that yesterday is not really the past. And what he means by that, Stephen, is that he says, because of our history, there are still some of the equalities of that time that still exist today, disparities in healthcare, mental health, and even education.
Yeah, really still seeing that today. Really shattering that's still happening today. But Tiffany, for you, interviewing someone who actually walked with Dr. King, a historic figure like that, how was that? Was that kind of surreal, just him walking you through some of those memories?
I absolutely love doing these types of stories, talking to people, their firsthand accounts of history, the history that we did not live through. And I think it's so important to continue to share these stories for future generations. They're not going to be around forever. And so we have to get as much from them as we can. And hopefully it can help us in the future as we continue on in our years, of course, in this continued fight for civil rights.
So true. So nice that you were able to document that, and really a nice piece.
All right. Thank you, Steve.